Alright, Earth to stream. Twitch is working, I think. Never super sure about Twitch. Mute Opera? Okay. But I'm not offline Twitch. Alright, well, YouTube is working. That's good enough for me. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome. Today I am going to be building some gridwork exercises for Rose. Some will be grounded in reality, and I'm sure some absolutely will not be. On this save, I already have a few built, but they are ones that y'all have seen before if you've watched any of my other videos, so probably won't use those very much. I'm going to start... Yeah, I'm already on the correct slot. I'm going to start by building a few just kind of simple warm-up obstacles or warm-up grids. I'll explain how I'm doing the spacing, why I'm doing the spacing the way I am, and also want to go over a few points. Actually, before I even start, I will say that there are some limitations with the demo right now. I know at least one of them won't be present in the final release, but as for the moment, there are no trap holes, so basically you're either jumping or you're not jumping. There's no actual ground pole exercises, nothing to trot or just canter over in that way. There's also no true bounces. We can do really tight combos, but there always has to be at least one stride at the canter between obstacles. It can be a really dinky, sad baby stride, but it does have to be there, so no true bounces are available to us. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do my best to draw a straight line. That is one of the hardest things to do in this game, in my opinion, is place obstacles in a straight line. So to start, I'm just gonna do... we'll start back here. I'm gonna do 2 baby obstacles into a 1 stride over a larger obstacle, and then back to 2 baby obstacles again. So Rose's stride is about 5 steps at the walk for us on foot here. If we want to do a 1 stride between 2 obstacles for her, we need to also account for the takeoff and the landing, or the landing and the takeoff, you know, as it were. The landing and takeoff are each half of a stride. So if you want to have an obstacle, then 1 stride into another obstacle, assuming she's at full speed, you need to have 5 steps for the 1 stride, 2.5 for the landing, 2.5 for the takeoff. It's easier to just group the takeoff, or the landing and the takeoff, into just 1 stride, so if you want to do 1 obstacle, land, 1 stride, take off over another obstacle, you would have 10 steps. So 1 for the stride in the middle, and then 1 to account for landing and takeoff. So if we're going to do 2 smaller obstacles, which I want to be a little crunched, I'm going to make them about 7 or 8 steps. So that'll kind of force her down to either a really, really slow canter or a faster trot. But here, I think it'll be easier to just show this than keep talking about it. So we're going to have, make sure we're going kind of straight. 1 obstacle. We're going to take, let's do 7 steps because it's a warm-up, or 8 steps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down, and now we're going to do 10 steps for the 1 stride. And complete steps. That goes down. 10 more. All right. Now this will be our first final baby jump, so we're going to do 8 steps now. All right. So it's not straight along the wall, but it is straight. So that was probably a little difficult to listen to, but now that they're down, I think it'll be a little easier to explain. So these 2 jumps here, I'm going to make these very small because they're little warm-up jumps. Leave them at 100 centimeters, that's fine. I'm just going to color them the same. And leave you at 100. All right, and now this middle jump is going to be our big one. I'm going to put that at 160. So that'll be a good test. This blue. And then have our 2 baby ones here again. Hopefully these aren't too close. It's been a while since I've really built this, so built these. So what we're going to do here is going to come in. This is pretty crunched. It's 8 steps instead of the full 10, so we're probably going to do this a slow to medium canter. So come in slow, leave slow, and then here, after we land, there should be enough time for her to speed up and do a full 1 stride at her full speed. Go over this. Then we're going to land. Again, she has enough time. This is also 10 steps, so she can do a full normal stride, and we will have time to land successfully, slow down a little bit, jump over this, and then land again and jump over this in a crunch stride. So this will be a nice little warm-up. It'll force us to adjust our speed and think about our timing, but it's not super crazy complex, not super difficult. I might screw it up a few times, but we'll see. The spacing should be right. One thing I will say quick is grid exercises, if any of you ride in real life, you'd be familiar with this. They're just as much to train the horse as to train the rider. They're used a lot with younger horses that don't have a lot of experience jumping. Like maybe they wiggle going into obstacles, or they anticipate too much, or they get a little crooked, or they rush. Right? Rushing, grid work helps a lot with horses who rush because it sort of forces them to slow down. Horses here, they have a bit of free will, like, see, she'll rush. I didn't ask her to speed up. She saw the jump and got excited. She'll run at it. But pretty much they listen to everything we say. They do what we say. They don't veer left or right. They don't get crooked or anything like that. So exercises designed to help a horse in real life that would be doing that aren't quite as interesting here, just because these horses don't have that problem. There is a lot of crossover, fortunately, between like what would be challenging for the horse here and what is challenging for us. Like, for example, this speed management. It can be tricky sometimes to manage your speed correctly, know when to slow down, when to speed up, getting your approaches correctly. And something like this will sort of force a good approach on the middle obstacle because we land and it's just a fixed stride. So we can't get the approach wrong, we could just get the timing wrong. So we'll give this a go quick. Let's see how we do. Over. Nice. Easy. Okay, so that's a nice simple one. Good warm-up. If we wanted to make this a little more challenging, what I would do is I would crunch these 2 obstacles together, just to make it a little tighter, to force myself to go slower. Because going any faster than what I was going now would just not work. There would be a crash issue. So, like, she might be able to fit between these 2 at her max speed. Maybe if I jump really early. Let's see, just for the sake of science. Nope. Yeah, see, she doesn't fit. So it still forces us to slow down. Not much, but just a little bit. It keeps us paying attention. So I would call this a good warm-up exercise. And the middle obstacle is 160 centimeters, which is really high, pretty high for rows. So having the proper setup going into that is definitely helpful, especially for warm-up. Then out again. I know, a lot of people have asked me about how I do the distances, or how I read distances, and setting up little exercises like this will actually help you, because you're going to get a really good feel for what it looks like when you're a stride away or 2 strides away, you know, etc., etc. Do one more time in this direction. And if y'all will notice the jump stamina bar, you'll see that it either almost gets completely full or does get full. So I believe it's red. It glows red. And what that means is that Rose can't jump anymore. She's out of jump stamina. And one of the most challenging aspects for me, and a lot of the grids I originally designed, were built so that I could practice managing jump stamina, because especially with Rose, jump stamina is a really, really big deal, especially on the competitions. If you want to do the competitions really fast, you have to know how to manage your jump stamina, or you're gonna have a really bad time. You're gonna get a lot of refusals. She just can't do them at full speed and not run out of stamina. It's not physically possible for her. So before I go back to building more on this course, I'll show you what I mean really quick. So these grids, I've had these for a long time. These were my originals when I was practicing jump stamina. So for horses, the default, I swear I won't say all horses, for Rose, I'm going to do this line over here quick. I might hit a few of them. They're 165 centimeters, but she can do, if we're going at full speed, like this, you can see she is capable of doing 4 obstacles in rapid succession like that, so 1 stride apart at full speed, and she is completely out of jump stamina. That's all she can do. So what I've set up here is a few exercises. This line here is probably the easiest one. It is 5 obstacles set at 155 centimeters. And it is possible to clear all 5 of them, as long as you're careful about your speed management, so we'll see if I can do it quick. Showed this one in the last video I did, but it's really useful for jump stamina, so we're going to go into this. Nope, messed it up. I'll try it again. A little slow, but you'll see that I'm doing half halts before each obstacle. Jump stamina is depleted based on the speed you're going at when you hit the spacebar. Rose will speed up once she's in the air, like she'll propel herself off the ground and get a little more speed, but you just got to be careful going in. Was a little fast there, I might not make it. Oh, barely. Alright. So you can see how it is possible to make it over all of them, but you really gotta kind of know what you're doing with your half halts, and you have to be a little careful. Keep a good rhythm going. One thing to consider is if you're not going full speed into an obstacle, you do need to get a little closer to it, which was the issue there with the second obstacle. So I'll do this one more time. Better. Alright, only tapped 1. So lines like this are fantastic practice if you're struggling with figuring out how jump stamina works. This one here, I will probably mess it up. This is one of the harder lines. I know it looks really basic, really simple, but it's deceptively tricky. It is 6 obstacles at 145 centimeters. She can clear 145 centimeters when she's not going full speed. She's very capable of doing that. Blah, blah. Words are hard. Capable of doing that. But it can be tricky to find a good rhythm, so I'm not going to do this too many times, in case y'all have seen it already, but just to show what I'm kind of talking about, so that some of the later grids make sense. We want to stay slower than this, so I'm probably going a little too fast. Nope, barely made it. Okay. Good enough. We got a tap on one obstacle, but that's alright. But yeah, if any of y'all watching are looking to practice your, managing jump stamina, this line is really good. It is on the website I've made, which is linked in the description, if you don't want to build it yourself. But we will go back to our previous build here, so let's hop off Rose. Also, if anyone has any questions, I am more than happy to answer them. I know I'm kind of rambling a bit. There's a lot to talk about with grid exercises in this game, so it can get pretty involved. Alright, so we're back here with our little warm-up exercise. And I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. Build something a little spicier here. So there's probably several names for this kind of grid, but I've always heard it called the Y grid. In real life, it is generally used to help with horses who over-anticipate heading or, directional changes. So I'm gonna kind of eyeball it. I'm gonna do, let's see, I think few baby steps into, yeah, all right, I'm gonna do sort of similar to what we did before, except I'm gonna crunch even further. So I'm gonna do 7 steps. And oh man, hopefully I can do a semi-straight line. We're gonna do our best here. Aim down the middle. Do this. 7. Make it a little more crunch. Now I'm gonna do a full stride. And another full stride. All right. So I've made this one a little nasty. So you would normally do this on, like, I would come off of this and say 2 strides, but I'm making it a little on the spicy side, just since I'd consider Rose to be well, she's advanced, right? Because she's basically perfect. This a little closer. If it ends up being too crunched, I can always move this one obstacle back. It is so... I don't know if it's just me, but man, I have a hard time placing obstacles straight in this game. Alright, that's pretty good. We want it on a slight... We want this one on a slight curve. And over here. Come on. Oh, wow, that's not good. Alright, no. No. I think this one's curved a little more than the other one, but Rose isn't gonna care. I don't think. I think it'll be fine. Alright. And I'm going to do my best to do 2 strides off of this, so get really close here. I'm going to have to place the next obstacle at my feet, which is usually a little tricky, so it might be off slightly. But I'm going to do my best. Alright, this seems fairly straight. Eh. Alright, it needs to be a little closer, I think. Because I wasn't able to put it quite at my feet. Alright, you know what? That's fine. It's gonna be okay. I hope. If it isn't, we'll just shimmy it around. I'm gonna do the same thing in this direction. Another 2 stride. Try to line it up. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna need to move it a little too. Good enough. This one should be a bit easier. Start further back. It was a little off, but I'm gonna take it. You can actually get away with quite a bit. Like, you don't have to be exactly precise. It usually seems to work out. Unless you're doing incredibly high obstacles, you're usually alright if it's a little bit off. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this. Please stop, jump. Stop highlighting, thank you. Do these 2 baby jumps here. In this color again. I think they're alright at 100. Should be okay as long as I'm careful with my placement. And this is a big boy. We could make this... We could actually make all of these probably 160. I'm gonna start... I'm gonna actually do this one since you can turn in multiple ways. I'm gonna make this one just 150. I'll make this one. This one can be 160. Actually, I think all these can probably be 160. We can make them different. Yeah, this is gonna be nasty, going into this one, into that. Should be doable, though. Again, this is meant to be, I think, either 2 or 3 strides is what you would want. What did you missed me trying to draw. You missed me trying to place obstacles in a straight line. I talked a little bit about, jump stamina, stride length, and whatnot, but I haven't missed much yet. Mostly I've just been trying to build this Y grid here. I'll make these. These can be 162. Okay. Excellent. This one? This one would be if you were to place an extra stride between here and here. You also wouldn't do it at this height. This is obscenely high for the kind of patterns we're doing. But this actual setup is realistic, yeah. You would just, instead of having a 1 stride here, you would have a 2 stride or a 3 stride. But everything else is realistic-ish. Because we can't do real bounces, we're a little limited. We also can't have ground poles. I am shocked at how straight that is. I'm actually surprised. Wow, it worked out. Alright, let's get the horse. Like I said, oh gosh, I gotta go. This bug drives me nuts. Fix this jump here. So, in real life, you would use, like I mentioned before, you would use a course like this for horses that anticipate heading. So, Some horses, you know, you come off of an obstacle, they see another obstacle, and they think, oh, we're going that way. That's what we're doing next. That's what's going on. What this is designed to do is, because you come off this jump here, and now there's 3 different directions you can go in. So they have to wait for you to get a signal for which direction to go in. They can't just guess. So this is good for horses that have a tendency to try to guess for you. It can be good sometimes when they do that, but sometimes if, you know, the horse has one idea about where they're going and you have another idea, you can end up in a very bad situation like that. But again, this normally here, you would have more than 1 stride. I've made it 1 stride just to make it a little more difficult, but you would, in real life, you would want to give a horse way more of a chance to figure out what you want. But because these horses are, you know, in a sense perfect, they don't have so much free will. We can do setups like this. Alright. I'm just gonna go straight through first. Have to do these first jumps very slow. We're gonna... yeah, it looks hard. I'm starting to wonder about that 1 stride I put there. I'm not sure if I can make that, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm just gonna go straight through first. These first 2, crunched. Alright, the striding's good. I just tapped that there. My timing was a little off. Try that again. Then I'll try doing a turn. Coming off the 150. So the green obstacle I set at 150, which is getting kinda high for Rose, but definitely not her max. Alright, now I'm gonna try doing the turn. Probably gonna be a little rough. Go slow in here, fast out. And out. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Having the green obstacle at 150 gives us a lot more freedom, because for Rose, once the obstacles hit around 160, you have to go very straight over the obstacle. She struggles doing it at an angle because it's pretty close to her maximum. So you're gonna have a hard time doing a 160 crooked, but she can go at an angle over a 150 without really too much issue, as long as you hit the striding right. We'll try going to the right now. Use our little setup jumps here. Oh, messed up. Having the jumps close like that actually does add quite a bit of difficulty, because you have to be thinking about your speed. You can't be thinking too far ahead. You have to be very in the moment. Alright, and if we slow down a bit, like, we can also do some twists here. Messed up a bit. I forgot these are 160, gotta be taken seriously. The nice thing about grids like this is you can jump them in a lot of different directions. So now we're gonna try doing it the opposite way. Slow down, and out. 150 centimeters. So that would be 1.5 meters. About 3.5 feet, give or take, in our imperial system. I really wish we did metrics over here, man. Alright, now come around and do it the other way. Might run out of stamina doing this, we'll see. I slowed her down here. Nope, barely. Nice. But so yeah, like, while a grid like this is intended more for the horse, again, you know, coming off here and they can't anticipate the direction you're going to choose. They have to stay kind of with you. They can't get, you know, too much in their own head and away from you. It's still good for us because we can practice jumping at angles or turning off of fences, or again, like you have to, if you want to turn the 150, you either have to approach it at a bit of an angle or be ready to turn as soon as you land. And these tighter jumps help us with speed control. Whoops. Wow, that was a weird way for that to fall. The tighter jumps, actually, I find more difficult sometimes than doing higher obstacles because you have to really be aware of how much your speed affects your jump height. Yeah, these are pretty high. Like, you wouldn't do, in real life, you would not be doing grid exercises at this height. It's just because it's a game. So, we can get away with murder, pretty much. I think you would probably stop a grid. If it actually looked like this, you would stop it at maybe, depending on the experience of your horse, I don't think you'd want to go much higher than 130 centimeters. Like, these are ridiculously huge to have in a grid like this, especially the ones coming off a turn. It's just not something you'd really see. But, again, because it's a game, it keeps it a little spicier. Let's see, we can do this. I'm gonna do a weird twist. I'm gonna come off to the right and then turn and jump the middle gray fence. Then come back through. I forgot to mention this when I went on my rant about jump stamina, but jump stamina is not going to be a thing in the final release of the game. I don't know if there's going to be a mechanic that replaces it, or if it's just going to be gone. Now we're going to turn. Ooh. I don't know if I turn sharper, if I could do that without slowing down. I'm not sure. Probably not. I think I have to crunch a little just because of the angle. But back to the jump stamina. It's not going to be a thing in the final release. I'm not sure how I feel about it. The jump stamina adds a lot of technical difficulty to the game because it's something you really have to consider, and it does encourage you to not over jump obstacles you don't need to. You want to do like the bare minimum needed to clear without the bare minimum needed to clear it without hitting the jump. So, for example, what I'm doing with these small obstacles here, where it forces me to slow down, so it's very hard to overjump them because I would never fit if I wasn't already going slow. I'm still kind of torn on how I feel about jump stamina being removed. I think I'm kind of for it, as long as something else replaces it to keep the challenge there. Only because, like, this grid would be really, really fun to ride if I could do it over and over again, right? But the issue is that I get here and I'm out of stamina. So I can't, you know, turn around now and do it again right away, right? I have to wait for the jump stamina to go up. So while it does add some challenge, I do think the game will end up being more fun without it, having it be replaced by something else, whatever that may be. I know horses in the release are also going to kind of wiggle left and right, shy away at obstacles, you know, instead of just coming to a flat halt like this, they will actually try to turn. So they'll veer left and right to try to avoid something, pop their shoulder out, you know, as it were. They won't just run face first into things. So I think that'll be more fun. You know, it's the idea of it being gone is sort of growing on me. I wasn't for it at first, but I think that's also because I'm so used to dealing with it that I don't think about it so much, or I don't think about it as much anymore. Like, I know how to consider it when I'm building courses and everything. Whoopsie daisy. Don't have to worry about it. Alright, good deal. Well, this one's pretty fun, actually. You could get a lot of different things practiced in here. But let's try something else. Now, I was looking at I was looking at a build online. It's called the butterfly. I'll add it to the description after the stream is over. It looked fun. You know, it's definitely one of those things that'd be way harder in real life than in a game, but it looked interesting, so I'll replace these. My little jump stamina test here. But it is called the butterfly, and I have a picture of it on my phone. I'm going to do my best to emulate it. Which, you know, we'll see. It looks a little tricky to build, especially since I do not have a ruler or a grid. But I'm gonna do what I can here. So, looks about... Oof. I might modify it a little bit to make it a little harder, since it is a game, again. But it looks like these first two obstacles are about three strides off, so I'm gonna start with that. I think if I start here, I have enough room. So 3 strides, that's about 30 steps. 12, yeah, okay. Think I'm going in a straight line? Wish me luck. Well, that's not nearly as far away as I thought it would be. I think I'm gonna move the first jump up. I'm so used to building courses for Damon, I forget how much shorter Rose's combos end up being. Alright, yeah, I think we'll start here. Should be a little better. Yeah, that's a little more in the middle. And we're gonna have a few combos that sort of diverge off of here. So it's gonna be kind of similar to the Y, just a little more spaced out. Apparently you can do this in a ton of different directions. Let's see. Alright. I think I need a little more. I need a little more space. This looks more correct. I might have to redo these lines a few times because this looks a little tricky. A little tricky to do correctly. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this side, which I have a little faith. I have a little faith that I can do this at the same angle. We're gonna have to look at it after I place it down. Let's see about how far away am I here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, this looks like about the same angle. Space isn't enough. I need to come out a little further away. That looks a lot harsher, doesn't it? Than this one does. Maybe not quite so sharp. That's not right. Oh man. I would love a grid. I was gonna say something wrong, but I would love a grid. I'd pay. It's just the spacing is off. I know it is. I can feel it. All right, let's go have a look. See how I did. I'm a little scared. There's more obstacles to add. I just want to make sure this is, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to take what I can get, but that's not terrible. It's a little too close, but we can work with it, We don't gotta be... I cut myself some slack because without a grid and without a ruler, this is just a bit of a nightmare. So that's good enough. All right. Come back, phone. Need to look at this. Okay. So that part's good. Now, we're gonna add a little more here. We need to try to aim for a similar angle. Not quite. Closer. That's all right. That's okay. We'll go with it. We'll take it. I see. Yeah, this one's a little too close. It's just a little off, but I'm scared that if I fix it, I'll just make it worse. Yeah, that's gonna be way too tight, though. I think I might have to, unfortunately, move the one just a little bit. Because this one has... Yeah, I mean, it's not quite, but it's got a lot more room. This one's just way too close. So I'm gonna move it. Gonna move this one. Redo this line here. Because I'd like to be able to fit a really obnoxiously tight turn between these two, right? Like land and then jump this. But I need a little more room if I'm going to do that. This one looks okay. So, alright, let's give it a go. We're a little further out now. I think the angle's a little too harsh. Yeah, okay, we're gonna take it. I'm gonna just have a look here, make sure it's really not too terrible. Oh, I gotta save it. It'll work. It'll get the job done, I think. I think it'll be okay. We can always add a little more to it later. I guess we could add the same... Now, just the butterfly looks pretty much like this. We could add a few things to it. Might make it a little on the crooked side, but we'll also probably make it a little spicier. So I think I'm going to do the same thing I did down here with the kind of weird X shape. I'm going to put it up here too. Yeah, there's a lot more space between these ones, but what can you do, Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna have to really... know, man. Might not work the way I've done this. Because if I do... Yeah, that's just so much further out. I don't think it's gonna work on this side. Nah, it's not gonna work on this side. I'm gonna have to scrap that. What I can do is add something out here to jump. Something that makes us do like a curve. Do something up over here. Two strides out or something. Yeah, we'll just try like this. We can add some interesting combos to it, but let's see. We can make these pretty large, I think. So I'm just gonna do 160 on these. Maybe I'll leave these all in a circle the same color. I'm gonna try making these 145. It might be a little too big for the angle, but we're gonna give it a go. Might not even be able to fit in there. We'll see. These 160. Gonna actually make this the same color. 60, 160, okay. And these will be 145. Oh, I don't know if I can fit in that. It's gonna be sketchy. Huh. Yeah, that looks incredibly questionable. We have a very small arena here, really, in the grand scheme of things. So we can't have obstacles be too spaced out. Sorry about this, Rose. Alright, I'll do a test here quick. This should be a nice, even 3 strides. No. Clearly I did the timing. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Oh, I'm stupid. I counted that all wrong. I was thinking of jumping and landing. This is gonna be more like 5. But an uneven 5 because I wasn't thinking when I counted it out. Whoops. Alright, well that's alright. We'll just keep the adjustment in there. These ones should be good though. Yeah, I counted the landing and the takeoff like twice. I was wondering that the math didn't seem quite right, but that's okay. It'll just be practice for chopping a stride out. These ones are going to be the same. You know what? I think I can actually make that turn. It's going to be nasty though. Gonna have to come in at a really sharp angle. Alright, here we go. Nope. A little off, but I do think it's possible. Just didn't recognize it quick enough. There we go. Yeah, we just have to do a pretty sharp angle. But we should, in theory, be able to do this as kind of a wheel, a really evil wheel. So I'm going to try that again, and then try on the other side. Do as harsh of an angle as she'll let me do. Give her a chance to see it. Nope. Alright, I'm going to have to take that wider. So that she has a chance to see. Because we have to hit this one pretty tight. There. Give her a chance to see it. Well, we hit it, but we did make it. Let her get some stamina back and try going around again. Well, this turned from less of a balance exercise into more of a how good are you at adjusting your stride exercise. Alright, let's go down the middle now. A little tight. Go down the middle and into the wheel. Let's see how that works. And out again. Alright. That actually ended up being more fun than I thought it was going to be, especially with the striding being off. I know, I don't usually do it with the combos, but I do when I build courses. I try to design lines that are off stride, so it adds a little challenge by forcing me to adjust. Courses that are on stride completely, you can mostly breeze through them at full speed without having to adjust at all, so this is some good practice. Go down the middle and into the wheel again, I guess. Slow down and out. This is less like a wheel and more like a wonky square shape because of the harsh angle we have to use. I think I can do that smoother. We'll see. So like the thing, I mean in real life too, you can either add strides by keeping a steady rhythm at a slower pace, or you can add strides by doing a really, really abrupt stop. In real life, generally, you probably wanna keep it smoother to keep your momentum going and your rhythm going. You don't want to do a lot of like, you know, this kind of crap where you're slowing way down and speeding way up. Again, unless you're in a jump off and you're trying to make a really tight turn or, you know, haul butt, as it were. So I'm going to try to get through these middle jumps here as smooth as I can. I know I need to add a stride, but where I choose to do it is the fun part, so I'm going to try adding one right at the end, which will be pretty abrupt, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, like that, okay. Without the knock trail. So we'll try that again more. See if we can do that a little more smoothly. More smoothly? Smoother? I'm not sure which one is actually correct. Yeah, that's a lot cleaner looking. I might actually post this one just because you can practice doing nice clean strides. One of the other challenges of this game, especially when you're doing weird lines or off-stride stuff, is knowing when to slow down and when to speed up. Because jumps of this height, you can't really You can't take them slow or you will hit them. You have to be going at full speed when you're going over them. Or at least you have to hit full speed on the takeoff. So knowing when and where to adjust is very important. Do it one more time this way, and then I'm gonna do like a loop-de-loop around back into the wheel. A little slow and out. Nice. This ended up working out so much better than I thought it would. Very happy. I don't think I've done the wheel in the other direction, so let's do that. Whoops. No bueno. Let's go around. Well, we can't go around again. We got some jump stamina to worry about. We'll try doing that again. Yeah, the first one was pretty smooth. This one going in the other direction, not so much yet, but, you know, we'll see. That was pretty smooth too. I'm gonna try going from the side around to the middle. Without doing too many adjustments. Oh no. Greedy, greedy, greedy. I should have slowed down there. I was hoping I could make it, but... that was gonna be wrong. This would probably also be a good exercise. So, one of the things I do when I'm building custom courses is you can either do a line in such a way that you have to slow down, speed up, or whatever to clear it, or you can just adjust your turn to be a little wider or a little tighter, depending on how you want to approach. So let's see, what I'm talking about here is if I want to go over that and then curve into this obstacle, see I have to slow down. I messed it up, let's try to do that better. But you can either go in such a way where you know you're going to have to do a speed adjustment, or you can approach it so that you don't have to do a speed adjustment. Like here, I'm going to slow down here. But if I make that arc a little nicer, I shouldn't have to change my speed at all. So I'm going to do this until I can successfully go through here without a speed adjustment. So if I jump it wide, yeah, like that. See, I personally find it easier to just adjust my approach than I do to adjust my speed. It's a little safer, but you have to be able to tell the distance from far away. Otherwise, your arc will be weird. So that's more... I think it's going to be kind of a personal thing. I don't know if y'all can hear the thunder in the background there. It's sort of a personal thing, like neither one is wrong or right. It's just how you want to do it. So like, say I come in this wrong, well now I have to slow down. Sometimes it matters for speed, sometimes it doesn't. It's more just what you're comfortable doing. I prefer to just adjust my line like that, so that I don't have to adjust my speed, but both are good practice. You want to be able to read distances from as far away as possible. So that is definitely something worth practicing. You don't want to make last-minute adjustments if you can avoid it. You kind of want to know what you're getting into from further away. I know sometimes you guys will see me... I'll take out a jump pretty hard, and that's just because I failed to read the line, but the only way to get better at reading distances is to just practice. So, you know, a lot of failure. But it does get easier the more you do it. Especially if you get used to riding the same kind of horse. Like that. That one required an adjustment because I didn't hit it right. I made kind of a last-minute decision to do that jump, and I was not aiming correctly, as it were. Let's try the wheel again from this direction. I don't always fight that urge, actually. I'll tell you something that's great. So in earlier versions of the demo, you used to be able to stack obstacles almost directly on top of each other. Like, I mean, right on top of each other, basically. And one of the most enjoyable things to do is to stack as many obstacles as you can and then jump into the middle of them and watch the poles fly into the ceiling. Because they would just ricochet off of each other and go everywhere, and I have never felt more like the Kool-Aid Man in my life. But unfortunately now, in the later versions of the demo, you can't place obstacles super close to each other. They actually require quite a decent amount of distance. Like, the standards can't touch. They used to be able to touch. So, you know. Unfortunately. So, it was great though. I think I have a video somewhere of me crashing through a bajillion poles and them flying everywhere. I'm gonna try to do this green one. I'm gonna veer left into the blue one. Then do a really wide turn back around to the green one. And I'm gonna... the other green one on the other side. And I'm gonna see how many of them I can do without adjusting my speed. I'm just gonna try to wiggle like this to get the striding right without having to speed swap, so should be really interesting for me. Oh no, I was so hoping she'd make it. I think I might actually need to slow down for that one. Let's try that again. Nope, she doesn't. I just needed to turn a little tighter. We're good. Alright, we'll try the green one into the blue one. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. That one might not work. I don't know. Let's see. Try that again. Without slowing down, I don't know. Wow. Okay. So it's clearly doable. Just gonna be very hard. I'll try it one more time. But that's not a turn you'd never do that in real life. I might be able to stretch the stride out a little more and nail that. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a little hard. Oh, nope. Yeah, it's actually, it looks silly, but this is also good practice for learning your distances, right? Because you're not allowed to slow down, which means you have to hit the jump right. You can't make a little quick adjustment. Yeah, I like this weird course a lot more than I thought I would. Ended up being pretty interesting to use. Let's see. What else can we do? I'm open to any ideas, if anyone has any. I've already shown trot grids and stuff. I guess we could make... What do I think of something interesting we can do? Let's hop off here. Build something else. Wow, it is. I hope my power doesn't go out. If the stream suddenly ends, y'all know that, you know, my house got struck by lightning or something. Let's see. We could do something fun like a bending line into a straight into another bending line. So kind of like a mix of the twisty and then straight. Yeah, we'll try it. I'll see. Bending lines are really hard, again, because of lack of grid, but I'll do my best. So if we want the middle here, probably should start. Well, actually, I could just make it a simple... I have an idea. Okay, so there it might be a little crooked. I apologize, but, you know, it is what it is. So I'm actually going to use this as a marker. All right. And that looks pretty even. I'm going to come over here. Do the same thing. All right, so this is a pretty sharp turn. Can't build, you can't build. I know, I'm trying. Trying, game. This can go... You know, I might leave these two here. Actually, no, this can go too. This can go as well. This is about, like a decent gap, so let's... We come off of this jump. You know, I shouldn't have deleted that one. I should have used it as a reference, but just gonna wing it again. So I'm gonna use, since we're gonna come off this at an angle, I'm just gonna kind of wing this here on this side. Oh wait, hold on. I was counting strides for Damon. Okay. Should have kept going. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna do that one more time. Alright, that's 2 strides. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more. Okay, I'm gonna make as good a guess as I can here. Looks like... Again, I should have probably this down just a little, just a little bit. It's not going to be perfectly straight, but you know, we do what we can. All right, I think this is actually all right though, so I'm going to do this. Try to do the same thing I did on that side. It's going to be a little bit off. And instead of a curve, I'm gonna go over this. We're gonna curve out this way again. Okay. And we're just gonna have to do this. There's not enough room to stretch it into like a full jiggle. So we're just gonna have to do it in both directions. Yeah. There we go. And this will be the last course for the day. It's gonna make these kind of small. Do 145 again. Get rid of you. You're gonna be 160. Get rid of you. Now this is gonna be a really tight turn coming into the 145s over here. I'm not sure. I hope I can make it. I think I gave myself enough space. This is going to be one of those less realistic grids. You would not have them at this height. It would be kind of deranged to have these angles at this height. Oh, it's a lot closer to that side, isn't it? Move this one a little. Just a little. Yeah, this is a nasty turn, though. I need to just move you a little more this way. Yeah, that's better. Good enough. A little scared to look at it. Look what I've built. Oh no. Okay. Just pretend the ones on the bottom are straight. Just pretend. I'm gonna go get the horse. It shouldn't mess us up. They're not super high. For the game anyway, they're not super high. So I just kind of pulled this design straight out of my butt. So what we're going to try to do is land off of this, turn into this, turn into this. This is a really, really, really sharp turn. Then we're going to jump this one and then do the same thing. Have to slow way down into these. Oh man, this one's way closer too. I gotta fix that really fast. But that's the plan. Will it work? I don't know. 145 might be a little high, but there is actually one of the pre-designed courses has a turn like this. Or has turns like this. You're not meant to jump them at this height, but you can if you're feeling adventurous. I'm just gonna move this one just a little this way. Just a little more. It's still a little bit favored, but just a tickle. Yeah, it looks better. Alright, now we can... I'm just gonna go with it. Can do this now. It's mostly about finding the smoothest way to get through obnoxious turns. Can learn a lot in the process. I'm sorry, Rose. Alright, yep. Here we go. I think I'm gonna have to wing really wide around here. That is a turn. I'm gonna come actually at an angle like this. Okay, not quite right. I'm still gonna do a sharp angle out so that I can give her a chance to see coming in. Too wide. Alright, let's try again. Get this down to something smooth, and then we'll call it. There we go. Well, it is doable. I just didn't do it as smoothly as I could. Now I'm considering... So I've spaced it far away so that I can't just do an angle like this, going at all three. Like, this would make the most sense, doing this. But you cannot hit this angle on all three obstacles without doing something very strange. So I'm gonna have to be a little more creative with the approach. Over the big 160. Nope. Gotta do that turn much sharper. Oh, yeah, no, at high level, you would never have jumps this high. You would never have jumps this high, this close together in real life. It's just not something you see. You're only going to see nasty combos like this in very specific pony shows, pony jumper shows, because ponies can actually make the turn. Like, but at this height, no, you would not see this. This is just meant to be challenging from a game perspective. If you were going to do this in real life, these obstacles would be very small. Maybe 2 something. There is room for Rose. Damon would not be able to do this in a million years. Rose can turn very tight though, so my goal here is to just get through this clear. There we go. Nope. I gotta do that turn cleaner. That's the turn I'm messing up. I think I need to come into the first blue a lot wider. And I should be alright. You are absolutely right, though. You would, also jumping courses, they wouldn't have a combo like this either. It's just way too tight. You'll see, one strides and some sharp turns, but you're never gonna see... Never gonna see turns like that. That is an evil, nasty turn. I think they'd call the animal welfare people on you if you put something like this in a competition. Nope, too sharp. So, just in case anyone is unaware, the horses here, they won't just jump... Tina Picker, yeah, we do. They won't just jump when you hit spacebar, they have to actually recognize that what they're looking at is a jump. So when their ears go forward like that, it means they see the jump, they're aware of its existence. But if you take a turn like what I did there, too sharp, and they don't get a chance to acknowledge that there's a jump in front of them, they just won't do anything. You'll see them just kind of collide like that. So you do need to give them a heads up. I think I could do the green in like a few strides if I hit it right. Well, there it is clear. Not totally even, but it's also... I mean, I didn't place the jumps completely even. Y'all saw what it looked like on the course board, so... can only do something that's crooked so well. I'm gonna try from the other direction. It looks like, yeah, this turn is the sharp, this is the sharp, nasty turn. Oh, I did not do that well. Okay, I can do that, I think, in 2 strides if I really stretch. Out of stride, so... Nope, didn't give her enough of a chance. No! The pole got stuck in my foot. Alright. Maybe I'll practice this one a few times after the stream and see if I can post a very smooth, not just clear execution, but a smooth execution of it. Oh, she runs out of jump stamina. That's a problem. Okay. So if I was gonna do this smoothly, I'd have to lower them maybe, but we'll just crunch. Crunch the exercises. Just go for a nice clear round. Pretty decent through the blue. Last ones are a little rough though. Get my jump stamina back before I go in. That was no bueno. Didn't give her enough of a chance to react. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slow down between each one. For jump stamina and also because she doesn't get to recognize them quick enough. Little tap going in. Now I think I can do it tight like that, but I need to allow the speed. No, I'm gonna have to go wider. She doesn't have enough of a chance to get up to speed. Yeah, this one's hard. I think it'd be pretty easy at a lower height, but as it stands, this is nasty. That was getting some really violent thunder out there. Alright, better. I think we're getting close. Come on, Rose, get your stamina. I'm getting way too greedy on the turns. Need to just go wider. It's not gonna look pretty, but I think it just does need to actually be wider. Alright. Tapped it, but it stayed up. I'll take it. No. Better. It's slowly getting better. Too wide that time. Better, though. Still better. Gonna have to fan out. Yeah, there's a lot less room coming in this way, so... that works better. Oh no, so close. So close. Give myself plenty of room. That's better. There we go. Yeah, I just had to stop being greedy and give myself more room. Good deal. Alright, that was hard. That was actually really hard to do clear. Forget doing it smooth. Doing it clear was nasty enough. Alright though. That's a good note probably to end it on. Just for anyone watching who came in late, don't worry, I'm aware that this is not a realistic grid that you would do in real life. This welfare would come, animal welfare would come for you. Alright though, I think I'll wrap it up here. That was fun. If anyone has any questions or anything, you know, leave it down in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Toodles.